Hello, welcome to Out of the Hole. This channel is dedicated to help all those who suffer with chronic complex health conditions to climb out of that hole, regain their health and their vitality and start to live the lives they want to live again. My name is Rosie, I'm a nutritional therapist, and this video today is part of a series I've been doing about fatigue, and the series is called Fatigue: The Energy Crisis. Today's video is called Infections, the Deadly Invaders, and it's all about how infections can affect our well-being and especially our energy levels. So many people may have chronic infections, they may not even know they have them, that are draining their energies and depleting their body, and they feel constantly drained and lacking in energy. So thinking about the types of infections that we may have, and the main types of infections are bacterial, viral, fungal and parasitic, and we're going to go through those one by one. So to start with, bacterial infections. Now bacteria are single cell organisms, they've got a simple cell structure. They don't have a nucleus or membrane-bound organelles like mitochondria. So they reproduce by binary fission. This is where you start with one single cell and it splits into two identical daughter cells. And this can happen really quickly. So with just one little bacterial cell, in no time at all, you can have millions of the things, which explains why some infections can become life-threatening in a very short period of time. So bacteria may form endospores. This is where they basically become dormant. Or they can also hang out in biofilms with protozoa, other bacteria, maybe viruses. And biofilms are like it's like putting themselves in a big plastic bubble that's impervious to our immune cell attacks and even antibiotics. So we have viruses. These are the smallest of all microbes. It's basically just a core of genetic material with a protective coat around the outside. They're only able to multiply inside a cell, so they basically hijack the host, that may be you, host cells, and they use the information and the machinery inside the cells to duplicate and reproduce. And when the cell is chock-a-block full of tiny little viruses, then basically what happens is they break out of the cell, which kills it in the process. So this explains why viruses particularly can make us so very tired and sick, because all our cells are being destroyed. So therefore, not only are we sick because our cells are being destroyed, but we don't have so many cells to produce energy. So then we come on to fungal infections, and the most well known of these is Candida albicans, which is a type of yeast. And fungi reproduce asexually by fragmentation, by budding, or by producing spores. And fungi in particular and yeasts can produce these little finger-like things called hyphae, which they can use to burrow through tissues and through cell walls. And this is particularly nasty because they can then, for example, if they're in your gut, they can get through the lining of the gut, creating holes which can let toxins through. And they can also get into the bloodstream, they can get to the brain, where they can cause horrible symptoms like brain fog and anxiety, depression, and poor memory. So finally we have parasites, and most people, when they think of parasites, they think of third world countries, they think of dirty water, and they think of worms. And parasites can cover a whole load of nasty little creatures that basically feed off us. They may be tiny little protozoa, they may be things like Giardia, They can be longer worms, helminths like tapeworm, hookworm, and obviously they cause fatigue because they're sucking nutrients out of us, so we have less nutrients to make energy. So there's many common infections that can be pervasive, and they can cause our immune system to really struggle. Some common ones include parvovirus, Epstein-Barr virus, mycoplasma, cytomegalovirus, and Borrelia, otherwise known as Lyme. That's not to mention Candida albicans and all the parasites. And in some people, they may have a genetic susceptibility, which means that they have a huge reaction to infection, so their immune systems respond by creating a massive amount of inflammation, and which can also make what could be quite a low-grade infection far worse. And so what do you do if you think you may have an infection? First thing to do is eliminate the other obvious causes of your problems. If we're talking about fatigue here, so in relation to fatigue, first of all, look at making sure you're getting enough sleep, and please see my video on sleep for more ideas there. Check your thyroid to make sure that it's functioning properly. Nutrient deficiencies such as iron deficiency anemia. Check your blood sugar, so check for things like diabetes or pre-diabetes, and look at HPA axis dysfunction. If you have eliminated all of those and you still haven't got to the bottom of the problem, you may have one or more infections. And unfortunately, as we talked about biofilms, these things often, you don't always just have one. For example, with Lyme disease, you often get co-infections. You may have one or two or more co-infections in addition to the Lyme bacteria. So it's important to test. And one of the tests we like to use in functional medicine is a comprehensive stool analysis. This looks specifically at gut infections, which may be parasitic, they may be bacterial, and also fungal infections. Viral infections you may need to do alternative tests for. Some of these tests you can do through your GP, others you will need to see a functional medicine practitioner. So there is hope. Some of these infections may need medical drugs to get rid of them. Some of them we can use much more gentle and natural supplementation to eradicate. And it's important to remember that our body is full of bacteria and also some yeast to a degree. It's perfectly natural. It's when these become out of balance. Obviously we have beneficial bacteria, trillions of them, that live in our guts, that help our immune systems, they help us, our digestion, and that they're really important. It's when bacteria become out of balance within the body, or our immune systems are not functioning optimally, allowing other infections to take hold and become chronic and pervasive. So take heart, there is hope. You just need to establish the root cause of your fatigue, and I hope this episode will help you to do that. If you like this video, please click like, please subscribe to my channel, and if you would like to work with me, please click on the link below to my website. Have a great day. Bye.